Okay. Yes,
All right.
we're recording. We're live. Not live, but we're. Although this thing could go live.
It could go live.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to teach you hopefully three things. Originally, I had two things in mind, and originally I
Okay.
wanted to do it outside, except it started raining, so I thought, there. But
Not too bad.
so yeah, hopefully you can incorporate this into your practice and help me recruit more students and yada yada yada. So
That would be awesome.
yeah, and
Because I
the
know
first
nothing
thing,
about
knowing nothing is the best place to start. Okay,
nothing about
so
martial arts. So
actually that is the best place, best place to be. So what we try to achieve in Tai Chi is to is to leave. We want to have a fixed point, which is where my fingers are right now, and so that you can create a machine like that, a simple machine like that.
okay.
Okay, so that when you exert very little force on one end, the other end will come up. And you will hear a lot of these fancy terms. It's like yin yang. In our school, we say yin yang separation. This is it. That is the crux of Tai Chi. But if you want to do it with the body, it's very difficult because our body isn't as precise as this in terms of our way that we're created, I guess. The first exercise that we do is called the fetch water. And
Okay.
as we can see, we need to with that tool or that tripod of mine, we want to create a fixed point. But how do we know we have a fixed point or not? In our school, we use objects to so that we're not cheating.
Yeah.
So I don't have a yoga block. I have this little box here. Yoga block is to make sure that we have a fixed point. Right? So this here is where your yoga block's going to be. You can do it this way
Okay.
too, so that you have built more distance between you and the wall. Okay? You want to stand in a straight line. Okay? And one hand here, one hand here.
Yep.
Okay? So you will see my hands separate, but it is not a result of moving my hands
Yep.
apart like this. But it is this opening of the hip joint, which in Cantonese or Mandarin we call it the qua. This is the qua area, right? So I'm going to show you, and then you see my hand uh, separating from each other. You see that?
Yep.
Right? And that is the result of me pushing my qua or the hip joint this way.
Forward. Yeah.
Yeah, forward or parallel to the wall.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You want to give that a try? And I'll take
Yeah.
a
I'll
look.
try that. Almost like creating a close chain.
Hey,
That's
what?
what we call like this. We sometimes call this like a closed chain exercise. So like a
Oh,
squat is a closed chain. You can also do warrior two, but with your hand against the wall,
yes. We
pushing.
actually do that too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
Close. I
try
like
this
these
over
terms.
here. The closed chain. Yeah. So there's an
Yes.
end point. There's
Yes.
something at the end of
Right.
your extremity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are my feet perpendicular with one another? Like crossing?
One, they are yes, they're perpendicular. Yes.
Okay.
So one hand on the thigh,
Yep.
the other hand on your stomach. Okay.
Yep.
Now we'll see how much you can open. So you're gonna push that qua or the hip joint up to parallel to the wall.
Perpendicular.
Yeah. Sorry. Uh, so you're pushing the qua this way.
Oh yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Parallel.
Okay.
Okay.
So you wanna do it such that it's 1, 2, 3 like that. Uh-huh.
kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, going back and forth.
So this is my bad hip.
Okay, well then you need to do more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. So you can see that your action is more on this side of the body, which is the body away from the wall. So it's kind of like this,
Yeah.
right? But you can see mine is actually a true separation, right?
Okay.
A true separation. It's kind of like this, and Master Chen talks a lot about this. So closer, so it's more apparent, more lighting. So it's like the tripod. You're actually extending from the inside. Say this is my knee against the wall. This is my quad or the hip joint,
Yeah.
and this is my, let's say, my shoulder or something like that, right? So this opening is like this. It's not like this is a fixed point and I move like this.
Hmm.
Okay.
So it's very much like almost like a gapping. You're trying to open, you're opening up from really from here
Uh-huh.
instead of doing a rotation.
No rotation, like
Exactly.
not at this point. This is just this right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of the rotation. We don't want the rotation.
That's right. But the rotation is caused. You can see that my body does rotate, right? My body does rotate, but that's not because I turned it like this, right? It is because
Yeah.
there is a push from this side, from my all the way from my heel to my knee to my quad, and that extends all the way through my body like that. So it's one straight line like this, or somewhat of a crooked straight line. There's an energy
Yeah.
that
Okay.
from my heel to my knee to this part to that part. Because most of the time, and you know this better than me probably, most of the time we spend most of our day like this. So this is the part that we're stuck at most of the time, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
we do this, right? So back in Hong Kong, I used to do 300 of these a day.
Wow.
And you see that caused another problem in your body is that because right now you don't know it, and I'm not saying it to criticize that. It caused another compensation on your body. You're leaning like this, and then you
Yeah.
think you're doing it like you're doing it, but it isn't. So
Yeah.
everything is stationary. The only
You know
part,
what? Let's. Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
the only part that is moved is this. You see, but it looks like everywhere else moves except for this part, right?
Yeah. That's really being in tune with your body, and I'm someone in tune, but obviously this is definitely an area of where I have some sort of dissociation,
Yes,
where I'm not connected.
yes. So I think it's no accident that we connect with that. Okay. All right.
I'm doing this on the other side. This is my better side.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I know I'm rotating so much from my upper body, that's for sure. But there's something more fluid that on my right side compared to my left.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, and the
Because
fact,
I'm going up against a resistance.
right, the fact that you're aware of it, you're way ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
There's
So
something sticky, so then as a result I try to find somewhere else in my body to get that dissociation, get that rotation.
yeah. So as you can see, and I will send you some videos about it, right? So what's the martial application for that? Is that let's say somebody pushes me like this. I
Mm-hmm.
have no flexibility, or we call this,
Here.
yeah, if I have no flexibility here, then I will fall like this, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
have flexibility like this, whereby it is a true stretch, right? Then somewhere down the line, he's going to lose his balance because
Yeah.
he'll be overextended this way. He is expecting that if he's pushing him in a very within a very short distance of that push, I'm going to fall, right? But you see here, I don't do that. I can go like this, right? And then at this point in time, I swat him like this, and he will fall. I can swat him like this, and he'll
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
get knocked over, right? So we have this exercise, and now again, I will send it to you on video, whereby I get my students to stand against a tree or a wall. Okay, so they're standing against the wall, and then so that for sure there's a fixed point, right? So once you have a
Yeah.
fixed point, I push against my students again on the shoulders like this really hard. All the student has to do is to grab my wrist and shove me forward, and I'll bounce out like that. Or they can just go like this. They can go like that, and then the person I would drop like a bag of potatoes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the same thing that is being applied here. This point is fixed, and then I can do whatever I want, right? And then I just swat them like this, I swat them like this, I swat them like this, whatever way.
Mm-hmm.
Without this flexibility, you cannot create. You cannot
No.
create, right? So that's one exercise you can incorporate. And again, that's the reason for that exercise is because once you have this true hip opening, you reduce your fall by a factor of like 25%. And that's we talked about
Yeah.
people, once you're drop, once you fell, and your life is really over from that point on.
Yeah. For the elderly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Um. Yeah. It's a way to adapt to your environment better.
yeah, yeah, that's right. And again, one of my students, he is visually impaired. He says he swears that his stability is a lot greater because when he walks. I mean, the streets here are very uneven at some places, and he can
Yeah.
regain it much easier. And myself, I was carrying two really big bags of food, and I tripped over. I was like, oh my god, I was going like this, but my foot caught up, and then I was able to, I didn't fall.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was
Yeah.
like, the side was looking at me. He's like, oh, okay, he didn't fall, right? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I'm gonna attach this to this thing outside. Now, this rubber cord to basically a rail outside. For my next trick, I'm gonna pull this. This is like a 25-pound rubber cord, and I'm a small, standard size Cantonese guy. So in order to pull that, I cannot just rely on my muscles. Okay. So there are two principles involved. Number one is, of course, this quad area again. I'm going to open it. I'm going to open it. Okay. So in other words, I'm jamming my heel into the ground. I open this, and I'm going to compress my chest down to it. So my chest and my hip joint there, the distance is shorter.
Okay.
It
And is
doesn't
your leg straight or is your knee bent?
bend. Yes. So let me lower it
Okay.
down. Okay, my hand is a reference to show you that it has moved. The hip joint has moved. Okay, I jam my heel into the ground, and I
Yep.
open my quad like that. Second, I'm going to compress my chest without altering the configuration here. So in other words, the distance between my chest, and my quad has become shortened.
Shorter. Okay.
Okay.
And then you keep the hip open,
Yes.
decompressed. Yeah. Open.
This is open. this is coming down. So this comes up, this meaning the quad comes up, the chest goes down. Okay? So
Yeah. Okay.
number 3 is called elbow in. So I'm pulling the elbow in. You see? Elbow in. Right? But if I use my muscles,
Yeah.
my hand, I can't do it as well. But you see here, it's an alignment, it's a straight line.
Hmm.
Right?
And you're bringing your elbow across, right?
I'm bringing
Across your body almost.
I'm going to bend like this so that you can see the angle of it, right? So elbow in is that I'm bringing it into here. Let me do another way. Okay, I'm going to put my hand here so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm not putting it here. I'm not putting it here. I'm putting it between where my front and my side meet. So it's like the corner. Okay. My goal is to pull this elbow into my knuckles here. Okay. Again, open, compress, pull. Yeah, got it. Yeah. A lot of people they can't do it because this isn't open. The shoulder isn't open.
The shoulder.
Yeah, they would compensate by leaning forward. They would compensate by using a lot of muscles. So you see how the hand is turning like this.
Yeah.
Grab the thing, but it isn't. It's way easier if I just go like this. But the elbow is coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. I can totally see how many people would have problems with this for sure. Arm would be out right over that knee, right?
Yeah.
And I would pull in. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. No, your shoulder isn't as stuck as many people.
Just my hip.
Is your
But
hip is
I wonder if I had a fall 15 years ago, and it's just never been the same. But I do wonder if it's going to look very different on my right shoulder because I've got right shoulder, left hip issue. Yeah.
yeah. And what we do to test this move is that we have a dummy, and the dummy is serving as weight, and the dummy is gonna grab the person, my hand, and I'm gonna pull him with my hand using only elbow in, and usually you see the dummy will pop like this, right? So that the energy is being pulled. It's like this. It's being pulled like this,
Yeah.
right? I'll show you this first one. I'll get you to follow along. So my right hand is on my chest.
Okay.
You're learning your first kung fu lesson. The other hand out like this. Okay, so relax your shoulder. Okay, and I'm gonna give you a count so that you can see what is associated with. Okay, so this is 1. So I'm swiveling my right foot to only the right foot. No, the upper body doesn't move. Only the right foot. Yeah, better. I'm swiveling on my heel. I think you do. Okay. Okay. So this is 1. Then 2 is my pelvis going this way. Okay. So this is 2. Good. Good. Very good, Christine. Now I open my hip and I'm gonna do 3 like this, and I drag my left foot to my right foot. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now I'm gonna stick my left foot 45 degrees out, and I'm going to call that 1 again. Yes. 2, left elbow in, right hand out. Okay, and yes, that's good. Good. Right elbow in. So now you put it right in front of your face. Yes. And then you're going to do, I'm going to back up a bit. You're going to do a big 3 like that, tippy toe. Tippy toe. 3, big 3. Yes. The foot is in front of you.
Which one? The right one?
Right foot ends up in front of you. Yes. Tippy toe.
Okay.
Okay. And then you do a 1 and land on your heel, and then 2 again. And then you go elbows in. There you go. You did your first kung fu move. Let's try again.
Okay.
This side of the body turns. This side, notice my hand here, it stays in front of me like that. My back hand,
Okay.
this here, only this hand moves. It's telling you that my body has turned 45 degrees. I usually tell my students, yes.
Like this?
I usually tell my students that only the right side of the body has turned. Okay? It's impossible, but it's a better visual. So 1. No, you see your hand turned with it, right?
Okay.
I mean your left hand turned with it. Yes, that's better. 1. In terms of 1, 2, 3, this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. 1, 2, 3. This is which is another exercise that we do. So I'll go across like this short.
What's 3? I can't quite.
2. The back foot sucking into the front foot is 3.
Okay, just pull it in.
But this is
Okay.
hard because we want to do it such that there's stability here.
Yeah.
So watch like that.
So as if you're trying to pull like the mat, if you were on top of a yoga mat, almost pulling it in, centering, right?
Yes, something similar to that. Right. So that 3 is here, right? The 3 is here. Do the 1, 2, and 3. 1 should be drop and kick. That's good. 2. Good. And then 3. Yeah, that's it. You got it. So that's
Okay.
this is one of the one of the exercises that we do. We go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay. And the reason for that,
Kind of like a little shuffle.
yes, we call it the crab step. We call it the crab step. So look, you're walking like a crab. So in any case, just before we go, you know that we're almost time. You have 40 minutes. So in terms of the application, right? Somebody punches you, right? They punch you in the chest. What you're doing is you're doing this. This will trap their elbow. Let's say they're punching, let's say with the right hand, you trap the right elbow, right? And then this hand here, I'm going to bend over so you can see. Actually, you see how it goes. My two hands are separating. You see? Yep. But that's based on this turn from my right foot on my heel, swiveling on my heel, right? So if I do it up here like that, right? And then that's 1, right? 2,
working on that.
And 3, right? So once
okay.
you
I found this on the web. Return from my right foot on my heel.
Yeah, whatever.
Check it out.
So you grab the hand.
Listening.
Yes, that's right. This hand is on the guy's elbow, right? So you grab him like this. You see here, this here. I'll come back up a bit, right? Once you go 1 and 2, this one is a kick right here. So you can kick him on the knee, kick him on the groin, whatever. But the key is that once you're here, once you finish with the 2, there's no more movement. So the kick is a very swift one. It's a very stealthy one. He cannot feel that you're kicking. Otherwise, he could react.
Okay.
See here?
Cool.
All right. I'll send you, like I said,
There's so much to know.
Yeah, I think you would like this.
Yeah.
You being a physio, you're gonna find so much into it. I'll send you the videos how it's applied and about the with the yin yang separation, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, no, this is very interesting. And I think like a lot of this stuff is, you know, a lot of this knowledge is, this is old knowledge, but it's getting recycled in so many different types of practices. So I'm noticing some things that are used in different types of modalities or different types of way of healing or exercise, but this is rooting back from some very old stuff.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good addition to your practice, so that it's every time I go to physios and they okay, you do this thing 10 times every day, but
Yeah,
this
that
one
can be boring. It can be.
it is this can be
Easy.
yeah, this can be boring too,
Yeah.
but at least there's some games you can play with your students and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I can definitely try and like even just this, the opening of that hip with the yoga block and just really teaching them how to open up without really opening from here and just really gapping from there. Just
Mhm.
that alone is, can be a game changer,
Yeah.
but very difficult to connect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Very difficult. Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be.
It's only recently that I've improved. It's been many years. But
Yeah,
once you
yeah.
feel that improvement, go, oh my god, I can do this now.
Yes, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a sense of accomplishment.
No, I'm excited. So now I need to do it like 300 times, like you, 300 times a day.
Take it slowly.
So just to make sure, when I'm doing that exercise, my
Mhm.
whole foot is on the ground, right?
Your
The whole foot.
both feet are
The
both
one
yeah, they are both on the ground.
toes, heels, mid, at the whole foot, right?
Yes, because you need
And
to
I'm
jam that foot into the ground to open up that hip.
and is there more pressure on the forefoot or on the heel, or equal?
It should be equal, otherwise, because the yoga block it checks for you a couple of things.
Okay.
So the yoga block, let's say my knee is here, right? This is my knee, right?
Yeah,
So if I'm too loose, then I'm too far away from it. The yoga block would drop, right? So,
exactly. Yeah,
so that means your knee has moved. If
yeah.
your block being foam, it bunches up. That means you're too much into the you have too much force forward, right? So it checks for you that way. So the yoga block
Hmm.
again is something that you use to so that you're not cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So then again, just to recap,
Hmm.
um, I'm in this lunge type of position. My
Yes,
knee is against the yoga block, toes facing the wall,
yes.
and I'm open. And how did you call this again? You bring this, and what's the energy called? What did you say?
This this hip area, the hip
Yeah,
joint in Chinese we call it qua. This qua area,
quad.
yeah, qua area.
So
So
you're bringing the quad forward,
yes,
and
yeah,
it's just basically an opening from here,
yes. So
and nothing should really be moving up top.
the movement is a result of this movement. So if you gap something, that space
Yeah,
translates into everywhere in your body, right? But I can move this space with this left shoulder of mine without gapping because I can just go like this,
sure. Yeah, yeah.
right? But I'm gonna make sure I don't focus on this, but I'm focusing
Focus here.
on my hip. But you see how my shoulder has moved away,
Yeah,
right?
as a result
As a
of
result,
the hip. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a ripple. Like, when you're throwing a stone in the water, there will be a ripple effect further. Okay, but it's just really not focusing on rotating anything really up top. It's really the focus comes from the hip, opening up the hip, and as a result, the rest of your body will just follow a little bit. Okay,
You got it.
great.
Yeah.
Got a lot of work to do.